Alright, hi everyone. So this is the week 8, the midterm week. So as I announced before, we will not have in-person classes in this week. So as we will have the asynchronous format, the Monday's class, please watch this video and based on the lecture slide. I will post this lecture slide to the website, but for more information, please make sure to read over the lecture slide and also hear the instructions I'm giving in this lecture video. Alright, so let me make it bigger. No, it's better. So in any case, thank you very much for your all hard work over through the 7 weeks of the semester. So this is time for the exam, but not to test you or not to challenge you, but try to check what have you learned for so far and what you will need to know about the intro level of sociology. Based on the exam overview, so based on the exam, this is again the take-home format. So 100% online, which means you can see the menu. You can see the menu on the course website later. On the Wednesday of this week, the beginning of this Wednesday, the exam menu will be posted and activated. So you will have the access to the exam from the beginning of the Wednesday, and the due of exam and the close of the exam will be Friday. So you will have 72 hours to complete an exam, and make sure to have your valid ID. I mean, not your personal ID. So your university ID to log on and your password. So if your student ID or the portal ID is about to expire, please make sure to make the validity, because if you have any of the issues of the technical issues or your ID or password, expired password, it's less likely to give you on-time assistance. So please make sure to everything, the connection of your internet and your ID and your password and your device, so that we can prevent any types of the interruptions during the exam. And you will have the lockdown browser, which is required as your weekly quizzes. And as this is the take-home and the essay format, it will be very similar with the writing assignment 1, even though the exam questions are much bigger compared with that. So please make sure to follow all the instructions I'm emphasizing in this overview. The coverage of exam will be what we covered so far. So from week 1 through week 7, every topic we covered in the class and the lecture slide and the discussion and even some portions of our questions and anything in the interactions. So everything will be included in the exam, but there will be some of the important topics. So I will cover them later in this lecture video, but please make sure to read over the lecture slide and the main textbook and possibly the supplemental textbook, but this is optional, not very mandatory. So make sure to check all the summary and the lecture slide, make your own note, check a key terms, because everything I covered in this lecture or the course contents will be included in the exam. Now, I cannot make a lot of questions, but you can make sure that you are not missing anything. Structure of the exam will be, there will be 5 short writing questions. There will be 5 questions in total, and possibly each question there are several sub questions. So I will give you the example, but there will be 5 questions, the essay questions, and there will be 5 different topics. So topics of the exams will including the gender pay gap and inequality, intersectionality, deviant behavior and theories, role, race as social construct, and as you read in your writing assignment 1, social stratification, Davis and Moore thesis versus the two-mean argument. So if you have not completed the writing assignment 1, you need to make sure, because the exam question will be based on your reading. So if you have not completed, or even if you completed that, please make sure to allocate some time to read over those 2 articles very carefully. Even though this is the open book test, you can just open the textbook, I mean the online version of the textbook. So make sure to read over and make your own note from the database and more in the 2-minute analysis. Okay, so as there are 5 questions that will be 100 total. So each question will consist of the 20 points in total. Okay. So time management is also very important. Even though I give you the 72 hours for your exam, submitting by the due will be imperative because the exam will be closed after the due, and if you don't have any of the document proof or accommodation, it's almost impossible to give you the extension or the makeup exam or other types of the accommodations. So even though there are among the 5 questions, you may start from the easy questions so that you can put more time, more effort to the difficult exams. So if you haven't submitted the accommodation letter yet for some case, please let me have that so that I can arrange more accommodations. So this is open book exam technically. As you experience in the weekly quizzes, I will put the link onto the Sociology 3rd edition textbook. But your note, you cannot open your note or others based on the website. So if you want to prepare your note for the exam, you can write it down or you can print it down. So whatever works for you, you can do that. You can use the link in the exam question for your textbook, but again, your note, your hard copy textbook, whatever will be fine. However, using the AI tool or collaboration or any kind of the unauthorized aid will be strongly prohibited. So please mark your all works and please do just provide your own work instead of the collaboration, instead of the having your the AI or the large language model. Sometimes, so I'm providing more flexible time, and I want to give you more time and the flexibility and even the accessibility to the resources. However, if you do not, for example, if you do not study sufficiently, it may cause the time consumption to find some clues in your textbook or other resources. So you can start from today even, but based on this instruction, as I pointed out, the 5 topics in your exam. So those 5 topics will serve as each question. And then as you already know the topic of each question, you can add up. So I gave you the skeleton, and you can add up some muscle and the blood vessel, anything required for those things as a building of your knowledge. So please make sure to prepare up your exam. So there is zero tolerance in the academic dishonesty. Even though I do not make the proctor, I will use the AI detector and provided by the university, and any reasons and any the ways to detect the AI. So please make sure to make the full of the attention for your academic integrity. So even though I give you the 72 hours, so there you may say that not enough time. So please plan ahead. Please plan ahead to mark up your calendar and to complete your exam within the time. Not relevant to course, very less likely, because these are all the topics I covered. Some topics are covered in the combined with some of the topic in this week and some of the topic in the following week, but these are all covered in the class, even the class as a joke or sometimes in a video. And the exam is too difficult, yeah, possibly, but yeah, that's the rule. That's the rule way that I'm not trying my best not to make the very tricky questions, but if you submit on time and with the sufficient levels of the answers, you will be fine, hopefully, and I believe. Alright, so other general tips of the exam. You may need to focus on the theories in each chapter. So if I provided some of the theories or the key concepts, you may need to, and I believe you will need to focus on them, because most of the examples and most of the key parts of the exam questions will ask you that what is some of the concept, or what is the key term or the key theory in this topic. So you do need to start from the key concept, and you need to have a clear idea about them. and possibly to think about. So imagine how to apply those theories or those key concepts. So that will help you make the more the extensions of your knowledge, which will be very required for your exam questions and exam answers. And examples of the concepts, and if you provide some of the applications based on your own experiences, or if you heard about this type of the examples from their cases, these will serve as a very big part of your answers. And the context of the concepts, if I ask you about the background of the specific social phenomena, that will be also a very good serve of your answers. And if there are specific social issues or the concepts relevant with those topics, these will be also very helpful. Application to real examples, these are very well with the application to theories. So if you can start to think about that. So as I already covered, provided you the 5 topics, you can try to think about what are some possible examples from your own experiences or others' experiences. So there is no guarantee of the makeup exams, because I cannot create equally difficult type exam, and for many of the regions, I may not be able to make the automatically provided makeup exam if you cannot finish that, because I made it as a take home and very long time for you, 72 hours. So that does not mean that you need to use 72 hours total, but you can allocate your time based on your availability or your conveniency. So that's why we don't have the many guarantee of the makeup exam. So if you have any questions, please email me. I will try my best to reply as soon as possible. And if you need the June meeting, I cannot guarantee, but please discuss about the possibility. Alright, so I want to provide you some more details for the topics of each question. I listed up the 5 topics, but I wanted to give you some possible the ways of the direction for your study. Alright, so first one, the gender pay gap and inequality. So it was covered very recently, and you may have the vivid memory about that. But again, so what's the definition of the gender pay gap or the gender inequality? So you may remember something, and you may recall, or you may focus on those conceptualizations. And what are the possible background mechanisms of the gender pay gap? You may remember there were several types of the background, which types of the mechanism contribute the current level of the gender pay gap and inequality, which will be very important. And how do you analyze the real example of the gender pay gap? If you encountered any types of the gender pay gap, they will be very great. And if you have not, probably you can recall some of the examples or other you heard from the media, or you can imagine, or you can draw up some of the experience from others. And what's a possible application of those theories? So that will be good ways of the thinking, and we can prepare some possible answers for that. Intersectionality. So when I covered the concept of the intersectionality, I probably mentioned that instead of the unidimensional analysis. So for example, not just focusing on race itself only, or not just focusing on the sex or the gender itself only, as we have the multiple layers. For example, I myself, I'm Asian as the first generation of the immigrant, and I am also the man. I'm the man, I'm the father, I'm the husband. So there would be some of the dimension conceptualizing me as a man. And also based on my education and based on my social class, I would say I'm in the middle class, having the professional job, and I would have some of the other types of the social dimensions. So not only focus on only one dimension as using my example, for example, I have the multiple dimensions, and these will be considered as simultaneously to form up my identity, for example. So how do you analyze your example, and what are some possible issues related with that, and what is the possible application of the theories of the intersectionality? So these will be some kind of key directions that you can start studying. And deviant behavior and theories. So the definition, right? I mentioned that some of the behaviors would be, for example, some of the behaviors would be crime in some part of the world, or in some culture, or in some religion. But in some other areas, these are not types of the crime or deviant behavior. So always, in any question, conceptualization. The clearly stating your conceptualization will be very important. And what are the theories? So there were several theories. So for example, in functionalism, blah, blah, blah. Symbol interactionism, blah, 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 and the conflict theory, blah, blah, blah. So there were several theories, and you can come back to the textbook in the lecture slide to check out those theories. So please make sure to know about those theories and think about the possible applications. And race as your social construct. So you may remember that based on biology and based on the sociology, based on the history, you may remember some types of the backgrounds. You may, if you don't remember, you can always come back to the textbook and the lecture slide to build up your knowledge. Is the race by nature or by nurture? I mean, not the nurture, social construction. And what are items that constitute the levels with the concept of the race? Can you analyze the real example provided by the question? So that will be the major part you can think about those concepts. So lastly, so again, if you have not completed your writing assignment yet, please make sure to work on that, because in this one, the PDF files are not provided during exam. So always, please make sure to read over those 2 articles and then prepare for this question. And what are the main arguments, the conceptualization, and what are some possible applications of each argument, and how do you apply your examples to you or others? So these will be, it might be an easier question if you worked very hard for the writing assignment one, but if you have not finished the writing assignment one, or if you skimmed a lot for those articles, it might be a little bit more challenging. So that's why I'm emphasizing a lot. So example question: socialization and agent of the socialization. So there will be some scenario provided, and if you read over, okay, 10-year-old boy named Daniel, and Daniel is encountering some of the social issue, and this is a possible example, and analyzing. So this is a scenario, and this is a question. Using the socialization theory, explaining how Daniel's family and the school act agents of the socialization, and discuss role conflict, role strain based on the Daniel's context of the situation, and then if you after answering this part of the question, providing examples again. So this is 2-part: analyze the scenario and provide the example from your own experience and observations will be the full levels of the answer. So the possibly, again, the defining the key concept well will serve as a big part of your question and answer. Agent socialization, for example, what types of the agent, family, school, peer group, and others, and the format of the clear conceptualization of the role conflict, role strain, and others, following the instructions of the exam if there is anything, and make sure to create a complete answer. So do not write your answer in the bullet points, but write your answer in full sentences. So these will be also provided in instruction, and follow the instruction very, very well. So that will be a very important one. All right, so this is the end of the preview of the question, and in case you have questions, you can email me, but I will create a discussion board. So if I get any of the questions, If I can get any of the general questions, I will post that in the discussion so that you can look through that on the time basis. All right, thank you very much, and I wish you have all the good luck in the exam. Thank you very much, and see you in the next lecture. So again, Monday, asynchronous format. So if you're watching this video, you are fulfilling what you need to do today. And on Wednesday, you can check the menu open, and then you can start your exam. Just by this Friday, 11:59, you must complete your exam. So if you have any questions, always please let me know immediately whenever you are available. Thank you very much, and see you later.